Why now is the right time to start? Why now is the time to start investing? So today's video is going to be about why now is the right time to start investing, and let's explore this topic together. Okay, so I guess let's start with why I actually say that now is the right time to invest. There is a saying that goes like this, where 20 years ago was the best time to plant a tree, but the next best time is now. So there is a parallel between planting a tree, as I mentioned in my previous video, and investing. You could actually rephrase it as investing, right? So 20 years ago was the best time to start investing, and the next best time is now. So we actually say this as a phrase. All those opportunities that were in the past, in hindsight, we could actually have earned a whole lot of money from them. Think back to pre-great financial crisis, or even pre-1990s, or the dot-com bubble, right? You could have invested in huge companies. For example, you could have bought Amazon when they were first starting out, and now you would have you would have times 100, or I don't know what kind of multiple that is, your wealth. You would have crazily increased your wealth if you had bought Amazon way back when it first listed, and all the way up to now where it's monstrous size of a price. Or you could have bought a Berkshire Hathaway share upon listing and enjoy the type of returns you have generated if you held that stock right up till now. It's really nice to think about, what if I could reverse time and buy all of those asset classes and enjoy the benefits? But until we invent a time machine, none of us can do that. Basically, we cannot change what has happened in the past, so what we can actually change is what we do now. And what we do now is really going to decide what's going to happen to us in the future, and what sort of wealth are we going to generate because of our decisions now. And I guess that is a short and sweet way, not very short, but that's a sweet way of saying just take control. We have the power to change our future, and in order to do so, we need to start now. And when it comes to investing, the power of time is very, very important, because that horizon of time determines what our final amount would be in the future. So when it comes to investing, there are a couple of variables that really matter. So the first one would be the principal. The principal just means that initial amount that you put into your portfolio, or that initial amount that you decide to start using to buy your shares or whatever it is. So today I'm just going to talk in terms of shares, because that is the asset class that I've chosen, and this is my video, so I hope that's okay. So your principal is very important, and then the next thing would be the rate of return that you can generate. So now the rate of return is very similar and very comparable to the bank rate, the interest rate given by the bank at fixed deposit rates. Right now it is something like 3.8%. It's very low. So when you put your money to work for you and you want to generate wealth, what really matters is the rate of return. And if you're able to achieve a higher rate, say 10% per annum, compounding every year, you will do much better. If you're able to achieve 15%, even better. Your wealth will double even faster than if you were only earning 10%. And if you're able to achieve 20%, 30%, 40% compounding annual growth, you just might be the next Warren Buffett. And if you can do it consistently over time, you may be even better than Warren Buffett. So who knows, right? The third thing that is really important when it comes to investing would be the time frame. So if you put it all together, your principal, the rate of return, and the amount of time you have compounding within this system, you get the recipe for an investment. And the longer a time period you have, say you're my age and say you're 27 and you start today and you keep going and let your money compound in the same portfolio of shares, and maybe it's generating you 10% a year, you keep it in there for maybe 20 years. And I have no idea, I don't have such quick math, but I'll show you the amount that you generate eventually. So let's just say you let it compound for 30 years and you're also earning 10%, and this is the final amount that you're gonna get. So you see that there is a really big difference depending on the time horizon that you put your money in this investment system. So yeah, I guess we can also talk about certain terminology here. When it comes to investing, what we are really talking about is compound interest. And compound interest would be our best friend in investing, because it is, I guess we can just throw in Albert Einstein's famous quote. I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm paraphrasing here. I think he says something like, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And I guess it's the best invention because compared to simple interest, compound interest really shows you how much your money can grow over time, and what a big difference it is when it is compared side by side. So I guess I'll show you the real difference between simple interest after maybe 19 years or 20 years. Let's compare compound interest after 20 years. Maybe if you have any questions regarding the whole world of investing, any concerns, you can comment down below, or you can message me on Instagram, or even better, throw it down in the comments so everybody can read them, and we can share this sort of bank of information and knowledge with each other. Okay, so I get this sometimes when I talk to friends or other people about investing, where they say that, I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I have debts and I really don't have time or money to start investing. And everyone's situation is very different, and I am by no means a professional advisor when it comes to finance, but I can tell you this: the longer we put off investing, I think we're gonna regret it more over time. And I know some of us do have debts, and the best thing that we can do is to start clearing out those debts bit by bit. There are so many techniques out there, like the debt snowball by Dave Ramsey. Scott Pape even recommends a particular way to tackle your debts. I think he calls it detonating your debts, and he uses the debt detonator account, which I talked about in my how to save money video. So there are so many ways to detonate your debts, and one of the ways, I'm gonna give you an example here, is to actually tackle the smallest debt and to really gain that momentum and that celebratory spirit, where every time you get rid of a debt, celebrate it, whether it's just acknowledging it to the world, saying, yes, I've done this, good job me, pat yourself on the back and say, okay, let's do the next one. And by achieving all these small wins, you'll be able to really knock out the big ones that are causing you worry at the back of your mind. And once you have started doing this, investing really becomes your next goal, or the next focus. And that is what's really exciting, because with investing, you're really able to see how you are growing your wealth. And time is our best friend here, and compound interest is our other best friend here as well. So is there anything else? Yeah, okay. And I know I talk a lot about stocks, but definitely there are different avenues that you can use to invest. So some people really like property. I am not an expert that way. I have not invested in property because I feel that it takes a lot more initial capital, which is the down payment, to be able to invest in property. So say we're talking about 10%, right? So let's say I get 400,000. If I can find that sort of property, I would need at least 40,000. And in order to buy a stock, there are some stocks that are 25 cents, 30 cents. All you need is times 100 of that, which is 25 ringgit or 35 ringgit, for you to be able to start investing in stocks. So actually stocks are easier. But definitely you want to learn how to actually go about doing it, and there's a whole ton of information out there. If you're not going to join a stock course, really there are so many ways for you to invest in yourself by reading books and resources online. And I guess as we go on with this channel, I'll share more and more with you about this topic. Okay, so the last thing that we are going to talk about right now is action steps. And action steps really are so important when it comes to deciding to do something, because it is the commitment that actually will get us where we want to go. And when we do this, we are one step nearer. And the action step that we have for why now is the right time to start investing, or why the right time to start investing is now, really is to just jump right in and do it. When you decide that you want to invest, do it. But that, of course, that being said, you need to be able to have the information at hand already, and you need to be equipped with the knowledge and the know-how. If you already have that, yes, definitely push the button and invest. It took me really long to actually start and to buy my first stock, because I was hesitating, I was second guessing myself. I wasn't sure whether it was, the right valuation, the right price. And I started asking my dad, what you think, or I started asking other people, and that just made me really confused. So just know your strategy, know your stuff, and trust in yourself. And if you don't currently have the knowledge to invest, by all means invest in yourself first and find that knowledge and learn. Just consume heaps of books, learn from other people. You can also learn online through open-ended courses, YouTube, websites, blogs. You can even learn from professional institutions as well, if that is what you would like to do. And yeah, because if we don't start, we're never going to get there. And I've been there as well. I've had so many excuses for not starting, things like saying it's not the right time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough resources at my disposal, I don't have enough knowledge. So there's always going to be excuses out there, and if we fall prey to that, then that's all we're going to be left with. We're just going to be left with excuses and not doing and not moving forward. So let's not get stuck there, and if you currently are, just attempt to get out of it and see what happens next. And of course, I'm not saying invest all your money into something if you're just starting out. Definitely you want to be able to invest a portion of your money that you are comfortable with. And it's all about risk and risk management, so be smart about it. So that is the one and only action step today, which is take charge and do it, start. So that is it for the video today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!